Alright, so today Justin Gaethje, Ilia Topuria, Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira were at the White House meeting Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, in the Oval Office for UFC White House or UFC Freedom 250, however you want to say it, whatever name they use for it. And it was kind of interesting, like I've got the picture here on the screen about them in the Oval Office talking to Trump. Trump was taking interviews or questions from interviewers surrounding the fighters and what he thinks of it and stuff like that. It was a bit of a surreal scene to look at because you have Pereira with Cruz, Plinio Cruz, Taporia, Trump himself, Gaethje, and then Cyril Gane. And as I said, it's a weird thing. It's like a fever dream. Like seeing these guys with Trump, it's like you couldn't imagine this. Anyway, it's just like and they all just look really awkward to be there because obviously, if you know Trump, he's not the most. He's a bit controversial, obviously, in many ways. You know the ways he speaks, who's associated to. You know, certain island people. You know, a guy with an island, stuff like that. But anyway, so they all look really awkward to be there. Really, you know, they look a bit nervous, or not nervous, but just everything just looks very awkward. Regardless, so they were there taking questions, and I've got this is the clip from Trump just addressing all of them and who's there and stuff like that. But it's really interesting, and I'll get to that after about because Trump's kind of saying in the clip, which I'm about to show, that he's like he knows who they are, but he really doesn't, and I'll get to that after. So here's the clip.
There are no people tougher in sports than the people behind me. These are the toughest people. These are real warriors. When we talk about warriors, these are warriors. Cyril Gane, these are all champions. I don't have to say champions, and most of you know, many of you know who they are. Cyril, great honor. Alex Pereira, I've seen him knock out a lot of people. That's what he does. He knocks out people. Congratulations on an unbelievable career. Wow. Ilia Topuria, who they say does not get tougher. So it's pretty much, I mean, that's it. They're very special. And a friend of mine, Justin Gaethje, who is just a fighter like you've never seen. You see the kind of pounding he'll take, and then all of a sudden it's over, and the other guy's not in good shape, right?
It's a crazy game.
Not in good shape. So these are the toughest people. These are the greatest fighters in the world. They're all champions. And they'll be fighting against very tough people also. And but I think you always go in thinking you're going to win.
Yeah, so that's the clip there. Trump, going through all the fighters' names. He's got this bit of paper in front of him with all their names on it and stuff like that. I'm sure he's rehearsed it because he said Cyril Gane's name like properly, so he didn't say Cyril Gane or Cyril Gane. So I'm sure someone told him how to pronounce it. Regardless, he went through all the names and about, he said like Pereira knocks people out and Topuria does that too, and Gaethje's like, like a warrior and stuff like that, and he takes a pounding. That was a weird one. He said that that Gaethje takes a pounding and then, pounds the other guy back, bit sus there from the president, but anyway. But the bit at the end of the clip, which was a bit like strange, was that he said they're going to be fighting, or the people that they're going to be fighting are going to be tough as well, and it's like, did no one tell Trump that these guys, the way they were lined up here, they're fighting each other? Like, Toporia's fighting Gaethje, Gane's fighting Pereira, and it's like, no one must have told him that. You must think these are just four guys who are fighting other people, because it's like, why else would they have them in such close proximity to each other? I guess, I don't know if that's what Trump thinks or whatever. But it's kind of funny that he said that because it's like, no, they're fighting each other. But regardless, and if you see here on the desk, there's a UFC belt, but it's not just any UFC belt. It is a custom American UFC belt, and this is what it looks like. So the UFC announced, or not announced, but they posted this picture of the UFC belt for the championship fights at the White House, and as you can see here, it's like. So the UFC, it's a normal UFC belt, but it's got a bit of a design. So it has the UFC logo with an American flag, the stars and the stripes behind it. And then on the top here, it says 250, as in Freedom 250, as in the 250th anniversary, which is this year, of the United States. So obviously that's why the number 250 is significant. And you can see on the edge of the belt, there's like a there's like a trim, a red trim, and there's like a star here and stuff like that. And I believe you can kind of see it better from the side. There's like a star on the side where the the actual belt part is. So that's whatever. It's just like optics, I guess. It's like we have it on the White House. We need to have this American belt, like for America. So yeah. Plus, it's like that's all Trump does. He just like a lot of like Gulf of America and all that stuff. So I guess let's make the UFC belt American. And also the fighters. Or rather, about the belt, you can think whatever you want of that. Who really cares? Um, and also the fighters had a face off. So Topuria faced off with Gaethje. Here's the clip. That was it. Yeah, that's the clip. It's just this thing that the UFC put together. It's just them staring at each other. It's not really a proper face off. And then Gan and Pereira also had a face off, and this is it here. So yeah, it's this one's like a bit of a. It's not really like put together, but it's like them staring at each other, um, and then just getting pictures taken, a video taken in front of the White House. So I guess that's cool to see. It's not like a proper face off because it's like they kind of have to be civil and they can't like start, obviously talking to each other, obviously. So we'll need to wait another month before we see an actual face off at the press conference or whatever. Uh, and then finally, there was this clip of Trump talking to like Topuria and Gaethje, and it was really awkward because basically Trump said to Topuria, "Is like, you're a beast. Like, how, like, do you think you're gonna win, or how much do you think you're gonna win?" And Topuria says he's gonna win 100%, and then it just creates this awkward. Or then Trump like kind of confirms like, "Yeah, yeah, you must be going to win," and it kind of like it's like awkward with Gaethje because obviously Gaethje is the only American on the card, and he like knows Trump, so it's like I'll just show you the clip and then I'll talk about it after.
And I never thought you will be so kind.
Well,
honestly.
I have a false image.
Yeah.
I have
And
a
why
false
you wanted to give the toughest test to you, the friend of
To
you,
which?
the friend of you. You said his friend of you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
wanted to give him the
that's what I want.
I do want to give. I want to give the hardest test. Is right. We're going to give the hardest test, and actually, each one of you are fighting your hardest test. I think, right?
Yeah.
How do you think you know your opponent very well? Very tough.
I know,
How
a
do you
very
think?
tough opponent.
Do you feel good?
Very good.
What are your chances of winning?
Me?
Yeah,
I have complete faith.
100%.
100%.
Right?
That's why you're here.
And they believe that too. Would you like to
And
say
I hope
something?
he has the same faith.
That's right.
That's going to make an amazing fight.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
And I never thought you will be so
Yeah, so that's the clip. It's basically Trump saying, or Topuria saying, you gave us the hardest test, and Trump's like, oh, what do you think you're going to win? And this just, and obviously Topuria says he's going to win 100% because that's just Topuria. But Trump, this just goes reinforces that thing that Trump doesn't actually know who they're fighting, because Trump is like, they all believe they're going to win and stuff like that. Trump wouldn't. I don't think Trump would say that or give Topuria the handshake after Topuria said like he went dapped up Topuria after Topuria said he's going to win 100%, not knowing he's fighting Gaethje who's right behind him. And it's really funny to see. It's like Gaethje standing there, Topuria saying he's going to kick his ass, and then Trump being like, yeah, you're the man, and Gaethje's right there. So obviously that just Trump does not know, and this has created this like you can see Gaethje the whole time. Even look at the bit where he shook his hand, and it's like Gaethje's just standing there like Gaethje's just like he just like knows Trump doesn't know that they're fighting each other, because he's not saying oh how much do you think you're gonna win against him. He's just saying how much do you think you're gonna beat your opponent, not knowing his Gaethje is standing right there. But that was really funny. It just like kind of Trump as well. Not to get political about this, but it's like just funny. It's like they put on this big show like that. If you pay any tiny bit of attention to American politics, Trump just kind of does these big American glorifying event things. Like that, as I said, that Gulf of America. Oh look, it's called the Gulf of America. We're the kings, right? And it's like, oh, now we've got he's basically forced into these interactions that he knows nothing about. He knows nothing about when he does, like, I think it was the Olympics last year, when they had the American hockey team, and he's standing there, he just has no idea what to say, or no clue about the actual sport. And it's the same here, with like he has no idea these guys are fighting each other, and the Gaethje's fighting Tapora, and he's like, "Yeah, Tapora, you're gonna beat his ass," and it's like not knowing it's Gaethje. So Justin Gaethje, friends with Trump, bro, bro, sucking up to Trump, and he still got played. I mean, that's just Trump now, isn't it? So, but anyway, that's the video. Please, or if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Really helps out. If you disagree or have an opinion about what I said, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you later. Bye.